Hi, good evening, everyone. It's August 6th. Unbelievable. Few months left. It's still hot. I found something today, and I don't consider myself a Facebook expert by any means. In fact, I I don't like Facebook. I've been doing it for a while. I've warmed up to it a little bit, but I think it's almost like a necessary evil. And even with all the stuff that's going on now, I still think that if you use it wisely, you can filter shoot through the stupid things and just ignore them, or ask them not to send you things like that or so much advertising. But I think it's just one more thing that we can do to grow our business, and I just see no reason why not to try to get good at it. I have this newsletter that I subscribe to by a person called Josh Spector, and he has built a newsletter with 18,000 followers. So that's the thing with Facebook, is that there's billions of people out there, and since our business is growing exponentially to include other countries, I was in a conversation the other day with a lady, and then I found out she was in England. So that's just to say that I think it's a good way to think big and think about expansion and all of that. And I just think it's a necessary evil. The thing is, I don't think we know how to use it properly. We're kind of like, shooting darts in the dark. And I found this on his newsletter. He had this post on how to use Facebook to get more people following you. One of the ideas of Facebook is you have your friends and your family who already know you, trust you, but the whole point is that you gradually start building an audience of more people and more people and more people. So friends of your friends, and you find other people, and some of the people they suggest, you look them up, and some people will friend you, and that you can expand. So that's another way of expanding your list. So when we go to these LifeVantage academies and they say, think of 15 names and things like that, it's just they're trying to get you to expand your database. It's more people that we can share this information with. I know there's a big hoopla now with that, supposedly, what is it, they call it the Facebook algorithm. I don't even understand what that is, but I don't think we need to be too concerned with that. I think you should focus on engaging with your friends and engaging and trying to get more friends on Facebook. One of the things, so these are 7 things, and I'm going to read because, like I said, I'm no expert, but I thought they made a lot of sense, and I'm going to try to use them. Rule number 1, not all engagement and followers matter. So there's this big thing about, the hashtag and like it and like this and hashtag this and hashtag that. And he says that you have to focus on building a real connection with real people, because all those bots and those fake accounts and all of that, what's the real point if you get likes from that? They're not really going to manifest into real people that you can do business with. So it really doesn't matter. His advice is don't confuse vanity metrics with meaningful ones. So he says there's lots of hacks that you can get more followers and likes and shares, but he says 99% will be meaningless. Using 1 million hashtags may increase your like count, but if those likes come from bots or people who auto-like posts in an attempt to attract your attention, then what value are you really getting? And I think that makes a lot of sense. So don't be too obsessed with that. Number 2, he says you have 2 audiences: the people who know you and those who don't know you. If you want to grow your audience, you have to cater to the 2 distinct groups. You have to cater to both. So your existing fans, or your family and friends, they already know you, they already trust you, and they are genuinely interested in your stories. But people that are not familiar with you, those are the people that you have to try to engage so they can get to know you and trust you, and then later on you can do business with them. So you have to be introduced to them and give them a reason to care about what you're going to say. He says audience grows depending on bringing new people and sharing what speaks directly to them. You have to strike a balance between the new people by addressing broader topics that are of interest to them, and then use other content to connect and deepen the relationships with the people that are already your friends and already trust you. So you have to keep a balance between those things. Tip number 3, show what others can't in ways that others won't. If you're not sure what to post, think about what you can share that most other people can't share. What things you have access to that maybe other people don't, what stories you can tell, and what is your unique competitive advantage. He says everybody wants something. They want to get somewhere, they want to accomplish something, they want to become someone, but they need to figure out how to do it. So if you can come in and help with your content by telling people, well, I want to do this, and this is what I did to get it, and we tend to think that it's not true, but you are all a little expert in something. Some of you might be an expert at, for example, I know Mel, she has an antique booth. So I know squat about antiquing. So if you can post something like, well, if you were going to go to an antique place and, this is what you would look for. I mean, I don't even have a clue of what to say, but you do. So if you do little posts that are helpful and people go, oh, she kind of knows what she's talking about. So Kim and Bonnie, they have horses and they probably have little tricks of the trade that they found, or this is what I do for this and this is what I do for that. And we found that, I don't know, to mend the fences, we have better success doing this. Whatever it is, you're already an expert in sometimes more than one thing, because we have lots of interests. Some of you like to cook, some of you like to garden, some of you do the horse thing, some of you compete in agility, or whatever it is. You probably have more than one thing. Some might be really good at, maybe your hobby is photography, and then you can put little tips or things like that. You just have, if you had an issue with something and you had a problem and you found a way to solve it, those are the things that you want to post, because they'll be helpful to other people. And that's how you create the trust. So like, oh, this person knows what she's talking about. Creating content people love is to create content that drives transformation. Everybody craves transformation. Your audience is at point A and wants to get to point B, but they just don't know how to do that. So if you can help them, that'll be good. When you tell stories and share content, do so in ways that the few people who may have similar access or stories aren't willing to do. So for example, if none of your competitors are willing to talk about their struggles, then maybe you can, be open and talk about that. If no one in your field reveals like their work in progress, maybe you want to do that. So not be afraid to kind of be a little vulnerable. Number 4, are you producing a reality show that chronicles your work, life, and adventures, or are you publishing a magazine centered around your interests, expertise, and niche topic? I thought this was very, very interesting. It's a little bit like food for thought. So some of the posts that you see are people, what they're saying, oh, I ate at this restaurant, and then I did this, and then I bought these shoes, and then I did that, and then I did that. And it's a little bit about like me. This is what I'm doing. Look at me. How does this hat look? And, I'm drinking this thing, and I bought this mouse. And so it's just you kind of, I think it makes sense what he says. It's a reality show. Is you're showing what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. And then the other way is, are you publishing a magazine centered around your interests? So that would be more what we were talking before, like, I like to garden, and this is what I do to get the bugs out, or this is how I save water, or whatever you do. Or oh, there's a gardening event, and plants are on sale, and I found this stuff like super cheap. Anything like that. That would be more, think about like if you had a magazine about your interests, what would be the articles that you would write? So he says either one can work, but he suggests you choosing a deliberate approach. So choose the path that will provide the most value to your target audience, but kind of pick. Is this a reality show about me? Which works because then you'd be attracting people that like and want to do the same things as you do. Or do you want to be more like offering advice, if you want to call it that way, like if you had your magazine and you're publishing articles? The other thing that he suggests is, like, if you're confused about all of this, which we probably all are a little bit, one of the things that he suggests is, who do you enjoy following that you don't know in real life? So someone that's not your friend, but maybe someone that you admire. And so look at their post and figure out, why am I following this person? What do I like about how she's doing it? And that can give you clues of maybe how you want to use your Facebook page. So he says, pay close attention to the social media accounts you enjoy following, not your friends, not your family, not your colleagues, but people you follow who you don't personally know offline. Why do you follow them? What do you get out of it? And then you will discover you follow people who inspire, educate, and entertain you. And you would try to mimic the same thing for the audience that you're trying to attract. This I thought was really cool. He says, this is number 6. He says, there are 3 opportunities in every post: the image or video, the caption, and the comments to give somebody a reason to engage with it. And I thought that was super clever. So he says, it's like having 3 chances to engage the person. You can engage them with the photo, you can engage them with a clever caption, or you can engage them with your conversation. And this is where I think we can help each other with the LifeVantage business. So it's not just about me saying something and liking it, but it's maybe you thinking a little bit and maybe asking questions like, well, why did that happen? Or, I mean, I can't think of something specific right now, but it's not just about saying, oh, very cool. Oh, I love that. Oh, this is great. Oh, it's about more like trying to ask questions and keep the conversation engaged, because then there'll be other people that are also reading that. Whatever you put there, other people, anybody that's your friend can read. So if the conversation goes into a little bit more depth and people start asking more and more questions and people are reading that, people might be engaged, and maybe you have more than one person engaged in the conversation. And that's really what keeps the thread on the top. So I don't know if you've noticed, I've noticed that, like, sometimes someone that goes into some people go every day, some people go once in a blue moon. And I might post something, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, but then that person goes into Facebook once in a blue moon and then starts liking things. And then they comment on something that I posted 2 weeks ago, and it brings it back all the way to the top so that you see it again. So that is where we need to be clever about helping each other when we know that the person is trying to post some information that can help with their LifeVantage business, to make comments. Or when a person is posting things so that they can, you want to be, at least for all of us, to be successful in LifeVantage, we have to become like little health experts without being doctors, but we have to sound like we know what we're talking about, because if not, like, why would people want to listen, right? So when people post things, like if someone says, oh, I love my physique because it's helped me stop the cravings, or I went on vacation and came back and I didn't put any weight. And so it's more like, oh my God, how did you do that? What were you eating? Tell me a little bit. Not just say, oh, good for you, but try to engage into a little bit more conversation. Okay. So we were at the number 6. So take advantage of each one by putting thought and effort into each of the post's elements. People will decide based on if they love the photo, I mean, engaging or liking your post. If they love the photo or the video, or they might think the photo's not that good, but they love the caption. Or they may find somebody's comment or your engagement with it fascinating and join that conversation themselves. So I thought that was a really clever tip that we can probably implement immediately. He says you only need one element to get that like, but give yourself the 3 chances because they're there. And then the 7th one was share your truth. A lot of fake people share a lot of fake stuff on social media. Don't be one of those people. Their success is fake as well. True social media success is built on being honest, authentic, vulnerable, and real, something that others are not willing to do. Your truth will resonate, lead people to connect with you, and enable you to build an audience of true value. So he ends with, don't fake it till you make it. The way to make it is not to fake it. I thought that was pretty cool. We hear that a lot. Fake it till you make it. Don't fake it till you make it. The way to make it is not to fake it. I hope this has been helpful. I think these are really good tips. If I put this in a little what is it? I don't know, Word document or something. If anybody wants me to email it to you, if you didn't have a chance to take notes, just send me a text or an email, and I will be more than happy to do that. And I want to invite everyone next Thursday, not Friday, Thursday at 8:30. I will be doing another Zoom like I did last Thursday. You can invite guests. I sent the information to Big Blue, so it'll be on Big Blue calendar. And I also emailed you and I texted you. What I'm trying to do is focus on the Vitality Stack, explain a little bit what it is, and then talk a little bit about the business opportunity. And you're invited to invite anyone that you want. And please do ask people if they come in to mute themselves. And that's all I got for today. And I hope that you liked it. And I hope that you take some of those tips and start implementing it. We have had really good success with some of the Facebook Lives, and we're going to do more. But that's a way to engage more people to look at your page, so that then you can later invite them to your Facebook Live. So I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you on Thursday, hopefully. Good night. Bye-bye.